In fact, it will surprise you. The subject matter of religion is you. It's you. You are the subject matter. It's you who have the problem, not God. So it's dealing with you. You have a problem, and the funny thing is, you are the problem. So, since you are the problem, you have to clear yourself out. So once you clear yourself out, the problem goes, and then you be what you really are in your divine nature. And that state, wherein you eventually come to experience your pristine, pure divine nature, is said to be, in religious language, God experience. The only way to experience God is to be God. There's no other way. That is why the final teaching in the Hindu scriptures, the Upanishads, is Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art, or thou art that. Thou art that divine which thou seekest with all thy heart. And this is exactly what Jesus said in the Gospels too. In the Gospel of John, he says, you are gods. You are gods. So, the beginning of religion, or rather shall I say, the beginning of living life with wisdom, with spiritual wisdom, is to have this awareness of your divine nature and try to be aware of this divine nature and then go about living life. This is spiritual life. You're going to live the same life. There's nothing new about it. Go through the same actions which you are supposed to go through, but with an enlightened perspective. All the difference is in your understanding, which brings about a new attitude towards life. A new attitude towards life. So with an enlightened attitude, you go about functioning and living your life in the world. This is spiritual living. Now, we said karma and the spiritual laws of action. The interesting thing is, the series of life actions and life experiences that you have to go through is said to be your karma. You can't avoid it. So since you can't avoid it and you have to go through it, there is one rule in there. As it comes, just accept it. Just accept the life experience. Work it out. Finish it. The matter is over. But when you do it peacefully. Accept it gracefully. If you accept it, if you go about it reluctantly, with resistance, then you have not properly gone through your actions. When there is resistance, you create a ruffle in your nature, a ruffle, a discord within yourself, which you should not. Because part of the secret of living life is to get settled down in your divine nature. So that is why we said to be silently aware. In the beginning, in order to meditate, we use two words only, to be silently aware. You become silent to everything. Maintain that inward silence. Be quiet. Be mentally quiet. Don't be disturbed by anything. And then thereafter, just be aware of the unseen, unknown divine within you. It is unseen by you, unknown to you. So the only way to be aware of the unknown and unseen divine is to be silent there and silently aware there. That's all. So when you are doing this, what is happening to you is you have got in touch, or you're settling down in your God nature. You're settling down there. Where would you like to settle down? Would you like to settle down in these Yorkshire Plains, or in UK, or in any part of the universe, or whether you want to settle down in God? What a wonderful thing. But in order to settle down in your God being, the first step is to become very calm and silent and peaceful with yourself. And when you do that, you know you have got two things operating within you. Two things are there within you. One is you're operating with the powers of the soul. So when you think, you're actively processing with your mind, with your intellect. When you are seeing things with your sense organs. So always, these are the powers of the soul with which you are functioning. There's another thing which is said to be the ground of your soul. The ground of your soul. And that is where you should be grounded. To be grounded in the ground of your soul. And do you know something? Haven't you heard that wonderful biblical statement? Man was made in the image of God. Where did God make man's image? They are within you. And that's where you have to enter. That's where you have to be. And that place is the ground of your soul. It's the ground of your soul. And when you get grounded there, and when do you get grounded there? When you become totally silent to the phenomena of life, to the phenomena of outward life, or to the phenomena of the inward life. There's an inward life which is also taking place. To this too also you must become silent. And having become silent to the phenomena of life, and the way to do that is to become quiet. That is why initially to forget the phenomena of life outside, you close your eyes. Having closed your eyes, then what else do you do? The next step is to keep quiet. So that by keeping quiet, you have become quiet to the phenomena of the inward phenomenon, inward universe, the inward world which is going on in your mind. You have become silent to that too. You have put a stop to that too. So once you have got away from these two phenomena, then thereafter, automatically, you are now settled or grounded. You are now grounded or settled in your God nature. So it's so simple. That's why unconsciously you do that all the time. Now when do you do this? Unconsciously. Every day of your life, you get silently grounded unwittingly. Unwittingly. You know, when you are tired, very tired physically, or when you want a little bit of mental relaxation after some hard work, mental work, then what do? You just sit down in your chair and stretch your legs and just relax. Don't you do that? Mm-hmm. You do that for a few minutes. And without you knowing, after a few minutes, you get back refreshed. You get back refreshed. But you don't know that. Unwittingly, you slipped into the ground of your soul. Unwittingly, without knowing the significance and the importance of it, how profound it is. But it's an experience of yours. And when you come back, you feel refreshed, you feel good. your tiredness and everything disappears and goes away. So here also, what was gone through by you as an experience unwittingly, you have to do it wittingly, knowingly. Knowingly enter into this state of inward silence. And when you get into this total inward silence, you are now you have got grounded in the ground of your soul. And there you have got in touch, or you are getting in touch with the reality of your being, And this is exactly what happens when you get into meditation. So, in that inward silence, you have become silently aware of your divine nature, and continue there. And as you continue there, and if you are fortunate enough, if you get totally grounded there, you won't have to come back. You get lost there in your God state. And of course, at the same time, you have come out of this universe. This entire universe collapses in you at that point. Whole universe as such. That's where the inward collapse takes place. The world's end takes place there. But in the meantime, so therefore, you've got to keep on living your life every day in a calm and serene manner. Calm. Live calmly. Live serenely. Live peacefully. And this living peacefully and calmly has got such a great significance, spiritual significance. And that is why in the Bhagavad Gita, the definition, the supreme definition for yoga is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. The state of mental equipoise is said to be the state of yoga. The state of mental equilibrium, which you are able to maintain while going through the experiences of your life and your life actions. So whatever life actions that you go through them peacefully. So when you are peaceful, you are now grounded in the essence of your being, in the soul of your being. You're grounded there. You're grounded in your God nature. And then keep on doing all your actions, going through all your functions, and going through all your experiences in life. Whatever experiences you have, experience it being well in a balanced state of mind. And the same thing is also, Lord Buddha said, in the Buddhist tradition, it is the way to salvation is the middle path. Haven't you heard? The middle path. This is the middle path, wherein you are not offset or imbalanced by the various forces which come your way. It's a psychological middle path, not a physical middle path, but psychological middle path. That pleasant or unpleasant experiences or pleasant or unpleasant actions which come your way, nevertheless, you go through them and experience them, but at the same time you maintain this state of equanimity. You don't lose your balance. So long as you don't lose your balance, you are in the middle path. That's the middle path. And this is the definition of yoga too. Samatvam yoga. State of mental equipoise, mental equilibrium is said to be the state of yoga, wherein you get united. You are in tune with your divine nature. So when you are calm and when you are serene, automatically you are in tune with your divine nature. Now,